My husband, M39, refuses to stand up for me, F27, to his family, and stays in complete silence. What can or should I do?
My husband and I have been trying for a baby for years, but without success. I have told him that I would be happy to adopt, but my husband's family is against it, and this has influenced my husband to view it the same way. After our second year of trying, I begged my husband to go with me to get a checkup so we could see if either of us, or both of us, is infertile. He was strongly opposed to this as all the men in his family are extremely fertile, but eventually agreed. It turns out his sperm count is extremely low. This news left us both heartbroken, and we both got therapy. After the news, we stopped actively trying, but I managed to get pregnant a year later. Unfortunately for us, we lost the baby and this left us devastated. My husband blamed himself and proposed that we would start the process of getting into a family planning center. The idea is that we could work with a sperm donor, so he asked me that we would not share this news to either of our families and friends. I agreed to this because I would never want to emasculate him. With the help of our donor, I was able to successfully become pregnant, and we had our wonderful girl last year. She is healthy and progressing amazingly, and I thank God for her every day. As we promised each other, I have kept my promise and never told anyone. However, my husband is struggling with connecting with our little girl. Here is where the trouble begins. Last month, when he went out of town with his brothers for their friend's bachelor party, and while on the trip, my husband told his brothers about our infertility issues and that our baby wasn't biologically his. One of his brothers must have told his wife, who told my husband's mother. I don't know why she would tell my husband's mother, but I know that she had never liked me.
Their mother came to our house the next day and called me a lying whore and tried to get my husband to leave with her. My husband was shocked and just stood there in complete silence. I told her that it was my husband's decision not to tell anyone, and his mother asked him if this was true. He said nothing, which his mother took as me being the liar, and she started taking everything back she'd ever given us for the baby. She started to call my baby a filthy bastard and continued to insult me. This made me so angry that I physically pushed her out the door. I didn't hit her, but I did put my hands on her shoulders, pushing her out the door, and threw all her things out. After spirits had calmed down, I realized my husband still had not said anything. His mother had just betrayed me, called me a liar, and called our child a filthy bastard. I asked him why he didn't say anything, and he said he wasn't raised to be disrespectful to his mom. He said that his mother hadn't said anything that wasn't true, and she was just hurtful with what I had told her. He urged me to let it go and wait for his mother to forgive us. I, still angry, told him that I would never let this go, and that as long as his mother didn't apologize, she was no longer welcome in our home. I said that I don't need to be forgiven when I've done nothing wrong. This made my husband angry as well, and he told me the house was his, and as the head of the family, it was his decision. I couldn't believe what he was saying. Someone just called his wife a liar, and his daughter a bastard, and he would simply let this pass. All he said, however, was just repeating that he would not argue with his mother. After our fight, I started gathering up my daughter's things and walked out the door with her. He tried to stop me and warned me I couldn't take his daughter anywhere without him. Me, losing the last bit of composure I still had left, told him she wasn't his daughter. I felt he had proven that he didn't see her as his daughter when he'd allow his mother to call her a filthy bastard. These words broke him down into tears, and he begged me to come back inside. At that time, I felt nothing, however, and I thought he was being pathetic. I just left. I've taken my baby with me now and gone back home to my parents. Here I told my family the truth, which gave me a great sense of relief. They are fully supportive of my decision and are not allowing my spineless husband anywhere near us as long as he refuses to apologize to me. I need time to cool down, but I know eventually my husband and I need to figure out what to do with our marriage. One thing is for certain, that I will not return to his house until he apologizes to me and promises to protect me and his daughter against anyone. I want him to tell his mother that what she did was wrong, and I want her to apologize. Writing this down has shown me that this whole situation has left me in a bad place, and I would like to get some advice. Am I overreacting here, or do I have a point? Update. Hey guys, here is an update of the last couple of days. After I left my husband's house, my mother-in-law accused me of cheating.
I had already begun speaking with a lawyer after my husband refused to tell the truth to his family, but knowing he let them tell other people I cheated is like a stab in the back. As I am sure I will not be returning home for a while, I'm currently renting a nice 2-bedroom apartment. My siblings and their partners have helped me furnish it, and my top priority is ensuring my baby has everything she needs. Currently, I'm working to create a cozy nursery for her and hiring a nanny. Facing the end of my marriage is terrifying, but I'm learning to accept my new reality. When I notified my husband I was planning to file for divorce, he started calling and messaging nonstop. His messages ranged from begging me to come home, telling me he will tell the truth and get therapy again, begging to see our baby, and then threatening to drag me home. I told him the only way the divorce could be avoided would be if he told his family the truth, whether he liked it or not. He refused, however, and then sent photos and videos of my things in the garbage and him trashing the nursery. He added commentary to this, and his exact words were, "I don't need it anymore." In the most disturbing video, he threw out our baby's car seat in a dumpster. I do not recognize him or his behavior anymore. He claims to miss his daughter and me, but at the same time, he is sending me these videos and telling me that we are nothing to him. This is no longer the man I agreed to marry. The man I married was smart, kind, gentle, thoughtful, and funny, but this vileness from him was something that I had never seen before. Before the fallout with his mother, he was nothing like this. I believe it was all caused by him feeling emasculated and humiliated by his family. I just can't believe he couldn't at least stand up to his family for me and our baby, the ones he said he would give his life for. My lawyer has urged me not to block my husband on social media, and I should mail him all his messages. The constant threatening messages make me feel scared, however, and I'm starting to feel uncomfortable to leave my home. My husband knows where I work and has repeatedly told me he would drag me back home if that is what it took to get me back. My lawyer and I are currently working on a restraining order, but every woman who was attacked by her ex-husband knows restraining orders don't keep you safe. However, things took a turn when my father-in-law showed up on my parents' doorstep. He asked to speak with me, and my parents told him they would call me up and ask if I wanted to speak to him. I was surprised with his visit and agreed to speak to him. When I got home, my father-in-law immediately started apologizing for his wife's behavior and asked for my side of the story, as he could not believe I cheated. I thanked him for his understanding and let him in on the truth. I told him of his son's infertility and that my husband had proposed for us to get a donor. I told him very clearly it was his son's decision, that he had specifically asked for us to lie about this to our families. After I told him the whole story, my father-in-law looked stunned. He was quiet for a while and then asked if his wife and son could come over and see my daughter in person. I told him I would not allow this, but he immediately asked if there was anything his son could do to fix the marriage. I told him once again that I demanded an apology from his son and his wife. He said he would talk with his wife and son, and before he left out of the door, I also told him that his son was sending me abusive messages daily, and if he really felt sorry, he should make his son stop. Telling his father must have worked, because I haven't gotten a single message from my husband since he left. I have not yet gotten an apology, so I have given up on my marriage, and now I just want my husband to agree to the divorce and give up his parental rights. This way my little girl can grow up with a family who loves her unconditionally. I have a good degree and a great job, and I'm sure my child and I will be fine without him. My husband's lawyer has made it clear they're going to fight us for full custody, but my lawyer is confident in our case, and I trust him in that. Just before writing my update, I have gotten a message from my husband's mother that she wants to be in my daughter's life and is saying she is ready to accept her as she is. I find this disgusting, as if my daughter needs to be accepted by her. These kinds of messages only make me more sure of my decision, and if it's up to me, their whole family will never see us again.